1,000 years ago, on these very shores, an event took place that has been recounted by history teachers to their students for almost as long. I'll tell you what it is and where I am in just a moment. But here's a clue. It involves a king, a throne, and the tide. On today's show, I'm helping two urbanites flee the congested streets of London for the quiet calm of a coastal county. The countryside has a liberating effect on our buyers.
It'd permanently be on holiday, wouldn't it?
That's the idea, you see. And things aren't always what they seem.
Goodness me.
You weren't expecting that, were you?
No.
Today I'm in West Sussex and this is Bosham, and it was here that King Canute the Great sat on the beach and commanded the tide to stop rising. But it wasn't to demonstrate that he could do it, rather to demonstrate to his flattering courtiers that he could not. And it was said that after demonstrating his own humility, that he never wore his crown again. It's a good story, huh? But it comes from a good county. West Sussex is bordered by Surrey to the north, Hampshire to the west, and East Sussex. With its spectacular downs, it's a county of great beauty. In the north lies the Sussex Weald, once concealed by an impenetrable forest, but now peppered with affluent picture postcard towns and villages. The gentle rolling hills of the Sussex Downs is a tract of outstanding natural beauty, where a grassy blanket covers chalk and flint, nature's building materials used in much of the local architecture. Along its 40-mile coastline are arguably some of the best beaches in the whole of the British Isles, with quieter spots such as Climping, an expanse of pebble, shingle and sand, characterised by its wooden groins. So whether you're looking for tranquil, sleepy countryside or the quiet seclusion of the coast, West Sussex is a county that has it all. Property shopping in West Sussex is an expensive business. In fact, it's the priciest of all the coastal counties in the southeast. The average price for a detached house here is £362,000. That's £100,000 over the national figure. And there are, well, at least three reasons for that. One is that it has excellent links up to London, not that everybody who lives here is a commuter. Two is that the South Downs National Park runs through the whole county. And three is that it is, in fact, the sunniest county in the UK. What more reasons could you want to move here? Let's meet our buyers and find out. Born and bred in London, Carl and Katie have spent the past 20 years in Harrow, Middlesex. Now, with their three children having left the family home, they feel it's time to relocate for a quieter life in the West Sussex countryside.
We have been here in London all our lives, and the benefit of the transport particularly and all the local amenities. But I'm really excited about being able to walk out of your front door and walk and have space and air and room and not constantly hear sirens.
It's been really nice being able to get into town, especially for all the children being able to get about, but it's all getting a little bit congested. Just through traffic and
it's just frenetic,
shops,
isn't it?
It's
just, I think we're both real urbanites, aren't we, really, at heart? That's a little bit scary for us, isn't it?
But they're not the only ones who are making the trip south.
My mum and dad are hopefully going to move with us. My dad's at an age that it would be nice to move now so that we can enjoy the new location before he gets too much older.
There's also a family reason behind their choice of location.
Well, Kate's brother lives down in Chichester.
And I don't want to be too far away from my dad, who still lives here, so be able to get back to him to visit and look after him if needs be.
And ideally, they'd like to be within reasonable distance of the local Catholic church.
We've always been involved in the church, so we hope that would be sort of our way into a new community and a new lot of friends, really.
A change of scenery will allow Carl more scope to hit the road on two wheels. But there's an artistic side to this biker.
I have some hobbies like stained glass window making. I also do like woodwork projects and general DIY. So that would be something really nice in the new property if there was room for that.
Katie is also looking for enough indoor space to satisfy her creative streak.
I'm a bit of a 1950s housewife. I love baking, and I decorate wedding cakes, First Holy Communion cakes, that sort of thing, for friends. It would be fabulous to have a room for me where I could have all my knitting and my sewing stuff.
And she's keen to exercise her green fingers.
I love pottering about in the garden. I think it's something to do with nurturing things when you haven't got your children to nurture. It's just lovely to see things growing up there.
So, what are the financial details for the move?
Our budget for the move is about £750,000 in that region.
Katie and Carl have asked us to focus our search in the southwest of the county, not too far from Katie's brother in Chichester, on the edge of the South Downs National Park. But before we begin our house hunt, I caught up with them in West Sussex to find out more about what they're looking for in their new home. Morning, guys.
Morning.
Welcome to Sussex.
Thank you.
Lovely bright day. First time out of London for both of you, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Full of life there.
Yeah.
So is that a bit nerve-wracking?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So what are you looking for in terms of the, the location?
Well, we would like to be near to at least a pub, so not too rural, but getting away from the hustle and bustle of a big city, really.
And inside the house, what are you looking for there?
We'd like 3 or 4 bedrooms for ourselves.
Just to turn around through the seasons.
Yes.
One for each season.
And then downstairs accommodation or an annex for Carl's mum and dad who are coming with us.
Yeah.
They're coming from a big house to a little place with us, and so they need to be comfortable and happy with that, really.
And in terms of the accommodation, do you want that sort of ready and made, or are you willing to do a bit of sort of DIY?
I think we're looking to potentially refurbish maybe a kitchen or a bathroom, perhaps knock a wall down and reconfigure, but not really do major renovation work.
Great. Anything else about the inside of the house that you're kind of secretly hankering?
Yeah, I would like a kitchen breakfast room, because we've always had one of them, haven't we?
Yeah, and that's worked very well at home.
Yeah, and I'd like a bit of a garden.
Yeah, what about the garden? What would you like in terms of garden? I mean, you're going to the countryside, the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
I don't think we're looking for hectares, but it would be nice to have a sort of 100-foot garden.
So how much money have we got to play with?
750,000 to 800,000 at a stretch. We've got both my parents and our properties to take into consideration, so hopefully that'll work out.
Well, we've got 3 lovely properties lined up, all sort of different places, offering very different things, so come with me. For a maximum budget of £800,000, Katie and Carl are looking for 3 to 4 bedrooms, an annex or extra downstairs space for Carl's parents, a large kitchen breakfast room, a good-sized garden, extra living space for Katie's craft room, all within reasonable distance from Katie's family in Chichester. We found 3 first-rate properties to tempt them with, and at each one I'll be testing their valuation skills as we guess the price. The third is the mystery house, which could have them seeking divine intervention. What about the coast? Obviously you've got a lovely seaside here. Are you keen to be near the sea?
Oh, that would be lovely, but wasn't something sort of on our wish list purely because we didn't think we'd be able to afford to be near the sea. And you can never be stressed when you're by the sea. It's lovely.
We begin our house hunt in the quiet hamlet of Lagness, around 10 minutes from Katie's family in Chichester. A few miles down the road is the traditional seaside town of Bognor Regis. Up until the 18th century, Bognor was a fishing village before its gradual transformation to a tourist destination, one of the first English resorts developed specifically for bathing. House number 1 is a barn conversion in the village of Lagness, surrounded by farmland in a semi-rural location. Come on in.
Oh, it's lovely.
Oh, wow.
It's enormous.
Oh, a swimming pool as well.
Oh, it's so pretty.
See, you don't get that in Harrow, do you? Your own swimming pool.
No.
And then this
How pretty
I
is
do
that?
like the look of that.
is the annex
Yeah,
for
it looks lovely.
your pa.
Yeah.
What are your first impressions then?
Oh, great.
Yeah?
Let's go in.
Yeah.
No, I really like the ambience of the garden, and that extra little property looks lovely from the outside.
What do you think about the location? Do you know where we are?
No.
Well, we're about 2 miles from the beach.
Wow.
And 3 miles from Chichester, so very close to your brother.
Yeah, great.
Cycle to the beach, that's it.
Yeah.
But of course, you won't ever need to go to the beach because you have your
A
own
swimming pool.
But I'd like to show you this first, because I really don't quite know whether this is going to be big enough or the right size for your ma and pa. So let's have a look.
Lovely.
The annex was originally an old stable block converted into separate accommodation, and I'm hoping it's big enough for Carl's parents. So step inside.
Like it?
Yeah, nice.
Originally, I think it was laid out so this was the sitting room area, and you've got a bathroom and a kitchen through the arch. And then this would have been the sleeping alcove.
I think that would work better, yeah. So this is a lovely big area. You could have this.
Yeah, a nice big living room then.
And then you've got the lot of storage space. You can see how
Oh, in
much
the
there is
loft.
above. Tell me about your mum and dad. What are they looking for? What do they want to have in their space?
I think something like this would be ideal. My dad's 92 and my mum's 14 years younger. They're both fairly active, but stairs now are becoming more of a challenge. So the idea would be that
They'd be with
quite
us
a
a
lot of the
lot,
time
yeah.
they would come in with us, so it doesn't have to be their entire
And when they're
living
fed
space.
up with us, they come
can
back.
hide.
Yeah, come back here again.
And when they're really fed up, they can hide in the attic. Yes. We're not here.
Go away.
Well, in that case, we should show them. I should show you the place where you're going to live.
Yeah, let's.
Off to the main property now. Originally a barn, it was converted in 2000, and it's packed with country charm. So far, we're getting the thumbs up with Carl's parents catered for, but now for our couple themselves. Come on through into the kitchen. Here we can see some of the original beams.
Oh, wow. Oh, they're lovely.
Yeah, it's a nice kitchen, isn't it?
Yeah, good. Nice
Kitchen
kitchen.
diner.
Nice island. Quite a hankering
yeah.
for an island.
And you've got this sort of minstrel's gallery there, and you'll explain that later on. How do you feel about eating in here? Because this would be the designated dining room, I think.
I think there's plenty of room, and most of the time at home we tend to eat in the kitchen breakfast.
So it's got good points here.
I think so. I like the feel of the kitchen so far. Everything's been really nice.
Yeah.
Okay, well this is the kitchen area. Let's move through into the sitting area. And then this is your
Oh yeah, really
Wow.
nice. Wood burning stove. I like
Fireplace and a half, isn't
real
it?
fire.
Look, French windows onto the garden. More garden.
more garden. This is also a lovely natural eating space.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, with the vine over the top, it's almost like an outdoor living space as well, isn't it? That's would work
It's
well.
as if they planned it. And what's nice is that you've got this space up here, which you could also, you know, if you were feeling very grand, have this as a formal dining room up high.
I think that might be my sewing room, Alistair.
Nice, yeah. It's really good. And that's what goes into the minstrel's gallery that looks over the kitchen. Does this feel like a house that you could move out of London to?
Yeah, at the moment, everything feels really good. The location, the garden, the accommodation really looks good.
And
First
it
property and it looks fantastic.
Feels very different from a house in the town.
Let's look at the master bedroom. The property also has a utility room just off the kitchen and an upstairs study area. There are 4 double bedrooms in all, accessed via the spacious main entrance hall, with bedrooms 2, 3 and 4 served by the family bathroom. First, the master. So there are 3 bedrooms on this corridor, but this 4th one is, well, this would be your master.
Oh, that's fantastic. No,
And look, you've got doors to the pool there.
You have got doors to the pool there, and also you've got an ensuite. You can explore that a bit later on.
Ensuite, hey?
Oh, yes.
Oh, and again, because you've got so double aspect. You've got gardens each
really
side.
bright.
Like you're,
And the beams again going through. And
be permanent, like
really
be
good.
permanent, be on holiday, wouldn't it?
That's the idea, you see. That's what it's like moving to the countryside.
Yeah,
Holiday all the time. And you can have your morning breakfast there on the terrace. Well, let's step out this way and past the pool. Let's talk about the garden. The mainly lawned garden lies either side of the property, including a raised deck area covered by vines and a garage with a workshop, ideal for Carl. Oh, look, stepping out to the pool.
yeah.
Wow, that'd be lovely on
Sun
a
trap.
sunny morning.
It is a sun trap as well, yeah. So you've got a single level dwelling. Was that what you were thinking about?
It really works well. I think it's very practical. The accessibility, to be honest, even
And for
from the
Mum and
outside.
Dad,
Yeah.
you know, for coming over from the annex to visit us, that wouldn't be any problem for them whatsoever.
OK, so the final part of the puzzle is the price.
Yes.
How much do you think this little parcel of West Sussex costs?
I'm really, really hoping you wouldn't be mean to us.
I've been known to be mean in the past.
So I'm going to go 795.
And I'm going to be very optimistic and probably hoping more than anything else, 780.
780.
Yeah.
Well, in this instance, you should listen to your wife because she's exactly right. It's on the market for 795.
Right, yeah, listen to me.
Doesn't surprise me, really.
Yeah, so £795,000 gets you all this. But there's quite a few rooms that we haven't actually had a chance to look at inside.
Yes.
So why don't you go back in and I will catch up with you later.
OK.
House number 1 comes in just under their top budget at £795,000, and it gives them 4 bedrooms, a separate annex ideal for Carl's parents, a large kitchen diner, a mezzanine area for Katie's craft room, ample gardens including a swimming pool, all close to Katie's brother in Chichester and the splendid West Sussex coast.
I think my parents would really like the property. As soon as you walk in through the gate, you see the little annex, and it just looks like a little self-contained house. The only thing that we might change quite quickly would be to change the shower room in the annex so that there was a walk-in shower rather than a bath.
I really could see us here, and all the family and the kids and friends coming over too. It'd be absolutely lovely.
We've been so close to the sea, we've always thought about that, but to be actually able to do it.
I think this house is a real contender.
Wow, I had to pull you out of that house. That was
Fantastic.
got a thumbs up, didn't it?
Yeah, it really did.
Really good.
Yeah.
But it is only house number 1. The West Sussex countryside is ideal vine-growing territory, thanks to a semi-continental climate and the geology of the landscape. Dry, cooler nights and a fertile soil make this area suitable for wine production. It's no surprise, then, that the county's vineyards cover over 500 acres, making it the largest wine-growing area in the UK. With Katie keen to flex her green fingers, we sent them to the Bolney estate to meet wine sales manager Stuart Barford to discover more about viticulture in West Sussex.
How long have you been here in West Sussex, and what do you produce here?
Bolney Wine Estate was established in 1972. We started with 3 acres and now we're up to 39 acres. We go against the grain of most English vineyards. In fact, we produce more red wine. We've got some Rondo, which is an early ripening grape variety, which goes into our red. We've also got Dornfelder as well. These grape varieties were grown because they ripen very well in the West Sussex microclimate we have here.
The climate here causes the ripened grapes to retain high levels of natural acidity, vital for fine wine flavour. The soil, comprising of sandstone, clay and chalk, drains well, which is key for successful vine growing. And the topography is similar to the Champagne region of France. Vine canopies need constant care and attention, and our couple are meeting vineyard manager Sue Osgood to help out with a very important task.
So at the moment we're tucking our shoots in, so we keep them nice and neat and tidy behind the metal wires. It's so we can obviously drive the tractors up and down the rows, and obviously come harvest time we want the grapes nicely exposed so we can find them. So if you'd like to take hold of some vines and tuck them in for us.
How long do they take to flower?
On a usual year, usually about 2 weeks. And then straight after flowering, they'll then go into fruit set, which is what they are now. So you can see the little grapes developing.
Oh, yeah.
And then they'll continue, obviously, into bunches of grapes.
Do all the grapes ripen at the same time?
Now, not quite all at the same time. We're looking here at the Pinot Noir, which has just gone through fruit set. If you look behind us over here, onto this side, this is the Rondo grape, and this have already moved slightly further on than fruit set, so they're now developing into pea-sized grapes.
Oh, yeah.
How many bottles did you get out of a vine?
Between 1 and 3, depending on the variety and depending on the year.
With the help of a grant from the Department for Environment, Food and Rural Affairs, Bolney Estate invested in a state-of-the-art winery, enabling them to produce wine for smaller neighbouring vineyards as well as their own. Time perhaps for Carl and Katie to sample the delights of the West Sussex countryside.
What's unique about the Sussex wines are that we kind of make them so they're more fruit-driven. If we take the still red, the Lichgate Red, it's made out of Rondo and Dornfelder grapes. You should get strawberry and kind of red currant and blackcurrant out of that.
Now that our buyers have tasted the homegrown produce of this beautiful county, it's time to return to the task of finding them a home. For our second house, we're travelling northeast into the South Downs National Park to the hamlet of Watersfield, about 30 minutes from Chichester. A short distance down the road is the village of Bury, which sits beside the meandering river Arun. The village has an abundance of thatched and barn properties dotted amongst its leafy lanes, many of which are listed buildings. A post office and a shop, along with farm shops, provide a variety of locally produced food and drink. House number 2, an ironstone-built property, can be found at the end of a quiet lane in Watersfield. Swing the corner.
Nice.
Wow.
House
That's
number 2.
lovely.
Almost like a little country
Oh,
cottage.
that's gorgeous.
So this one has floors.
Floors, yes, indeed. Yeah. And a big garage, look.
Big garage, something there for you, Carl, and your motorbikes.
Yeah.
And if you look to the left,
Oh,
through the hedge,
another little house for Mum and Dad.
a separate annex for your mum.
Yeah.
But is this
So
more of what you were
quiet.
thinking?
I think this is what I envisaged. So, yeah, just a sort of normal detached house.
Well, in good country style, we're not going to go in through the front door, we're going to go around the side. Built in the 1950s, the property has undergone radical modernisation, mixing contemporary interior design with a traditional exterior. Come on in, through the boot room,
That's a lovely big boot room.
straight into this
Oh, gosh.
fantastic
nice.
space.
Wow.
Real big island.
Goodness me.
You weren't expecting that, were you?
No. You really have everybody in the kitchen while you're cooking here.
I mean, it's slightly unusual because actually you've got the old kitchen, sort of
yeah.
prep room there, so that's got all your white goods, washing machine, fridge. And then this is the more kitchen in the sense of this is the space where you probably eat and have breakfast. And so if you come through in here, you can see the layout of this spectacular kind of add-on that they
Wow,
put.
what a sun trap.
Yeah.
It is sunshine, and it's quite hot now, but the great thing about it is that you can open up every single one of these
And be outside.
and be outside.
Bifold
Look at that.
doors, I don't even know what you call them.
Yes, concertina doors.
That
Yeah.
really lets the outside in, yeah.
That's quite something.
So this really, I think, would be your main walkway because you can see there's a sitting room there that's
Yeah.
open up to that
Yeah.
one, and then at the end there's a study as well, so you can access all the rooms from the back and the front, as it were. Is it nice though? Do you like it?
I do like it, yeah. Just sort of,
It's very different.
yes, getting my head around what you've got here and how you could use it.
It is different from the last property. Let's look upstairs and you can see the upstairs layout.
Yes.
The downstairs definitely has the wow factor in terms of space, but they seem a little overawed by just how much there is. Upstairs there are 3 double bedrooms in all. Bedrooms 2 and 3 are served by the family bathroom with a square plunge bath. And before that, the master.
Oh, look at the stained glass.
Look at the stained glass, yes.
This is a nice-sized room.
Upstairs it's a bit more like a typical 1950s.
Traditional,
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of storage in this property.
Good.
So all your storage here. And then this one has a very nice modern ensuite
ensuite
wet
as
room
well. Right.
Oh,
and a bathtub.
that's something, yeah.
How are you feeling about this house? I feel that you're... Last time
I
you were...
think
sort
I'm a
of-
little ambivalent toward this house because I'm confused by the traditional outside and front part of the house, and then the sort of back views just shocked me. But it's quite a quirky house.
And I guess the clincher would be what the annex is like for Mum and Dad, really.
Well, let's go and look.
OK.
Excuse me, I'll lead the way. With Carl and Katie somewhat dazed and confused, I think the annex is going to have to be a knockout to put this house into any sort of contention. Come on in. What we have here is a much more substantial annex in the sense it's got 3 separate rooms. Got a bedroom up this way and separate mains, so separate electricity, so it's all completely separate.
And it's really, all finished beautifully, isn't it?
How does this compare to the last one?
Different, isn't it? Because this is a larger sort of a space, isn't it?
And it's much brighter and more open, isn't it? I mean, obviously it's got less stuff in it, but...
Totally different feel.
See, there is more room here. It's a bigger area, isn't it?
It doesn't have a kitchen.
OK.
Yeah.
That's the difference. And you would have to get planning to put a kitchen on. Yeah.
We're not sure how much of a problem that would be, because I'm sure they'd always be eating with us.
Right. But first you need to know how much it costs. So let's go out into the garden and talk about money. The gardens are mainly laid to lawn, with a paved terrace area leading on from the sitting room, looking out over splendid rural views. And the missing piece of the puzzle is the price.
Yes, the price.
What do you think this is on the market for?
You go first this time.
Well, 1 less bedroom, still really nice location. So I'm thinking maybe 775.
Oh, and I was sort of going there as well at 780.
780?
Yeah.
Well, it might be a deciding factor. This is actually on the market for £835,000.
OK.
I still think the issue for me is the mix of the modern and the traditional.
Well, go and have an explore, because we didn't look at the rooms upstairs, and you can have another look around in the annex, and I will see you out the front.
Thank you very much.
Priced at £835,000, our second house has come in over budget. It offers 3 bedrooms, a huge kitchen breakfast room, a living room with folding doors and windows on all 3 sides, a 2-bedroom annex, a good-sized garden, all around half an hour from family in Chichester.
I don't think I'm quite so enthusiastic or emotional about this house as the first house. And although all the elements of this house are just great, somehow for me it doesn't quite fit together properly.
Overall, like the property, but found this area a little overwhelming in its modernity. I find the mix of traditional and modern a little bit too much of a clash for me.
Here you are, guys. Taking in the view.
Yes. You know, I couldn't imagine ever living in a house with a view like that.
You see, I think moving to the countryside is going to open all sorts of imaginary doors. Well, that is all the house has done for today.
Right.
So time to digest and have a little rest.
Indeed.
Let's go. It's the second day of our property search in West Sussex with Carl and Katie from North London, who have £800,000 to spend on a new country home. Coming up, the mystery house blows their mind.
This is beyond my wildest imaginings.
And I'm caught napping on the job. Day 2 here in West Sussex, and Carl and Katie's house search continues apace. I think there was a clear winner yesterday, but we have a mystery house today, and I'd like to be able to say why we're showing the mystery house, but actually, it's quite mysterious. It's just a great house. And you've got to remember that they're churchgoers. Oops, did I give it away? For today's mystery house, we're heading further east to the village of Warninglid, putting them about an hour away from Chichester. Before I reveal the property, I'm taking Carl and Katie for a stroll around the village to get a feel for the surroundings. So this is the mystery village.
It's really pretty.
A little preview of your surroundings before I show you the house. I mean, it goes back to Saxon times. It's got an interesting name, Warninglid. There was, I think, a lot of building in the 1950s, so a lot of these houses are very nice 1950s houses, but copying the same sort of mathematical tiles hanging from the front of the
really
old
nice.
buildings.
Yes.
It's won Best Kept Village 3 times in the last quarter century.
Impressive.
Yeah. So this is what you could be buying into if you like this house. In the heart of the village is our mystery house, a converted property that was once the hub of the community. Here we go. It's the mystery house.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
What do you think this used to be?
a church.
A church.
That's amazing. I said I like going to church, didn't I?
You did? You don't even need to get out of bed. You're in
Oh,
church.
my
Is that all
gosh.
one property?
It is all one property, yes.
Good heavens.
So from 1935 to about 2000, this was the Anglican Church of Warninglid. This, on the other side, is a new addition. So it was converted by an architect in around 2000, and they put on that extra building, which
Oh,
has all the living
beautifully done,
accommodation.
though, isn't it? And look at the stained glass, Carl.
Well, yeah.
What are your thoughts, your feelings?
Amazing, yeah.
Amazing.
Let's look inside.
Let's.
Built in 1932, the church has undergone a substantial refurbishment. And bearing in mind their reaction to the mix of styles in our second property, I'm hoping this sympathetic modernisation will elicit a more favourable response.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! It's enormous. It's echoey. Listen to it.
It
It's
is
so
echoey.
huge.
What a living space.
This is beyond my wildest imagining.
So let's walk down to the, well, I suppose down the aisle to the kitchen. This would have been where the altar was, the east end of the church. And you've got the more elaborate stained glass above the...
Beautiful colours. Good heavens, indeed.
Yeah. Quite a signature kitchen as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
The dark units and the contrast with the white surface and really modern looking. Yeah.
Is that pleasing? Or?
Yeah.
I think that looks really nice.
Yeah.
So this is clearly the sort of like pizzang space.
Yes, yes,
It's full of the kind of sound of the angels. Through the archway is the more kind of modest living space.
I wonder what your mum and dad would think about living in the church.
We're certainly getting more than our fair share of wows with this property. But as we head to the new extension, it's time to address the question of space for Carl's parents. The second half of the house is a bit more modest, although anything would be modest after that first.
Yes.
Have they got the same windows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Nicely
very tastefully
matched
done.
in,
Yeah. So the challenge of this property, and I will be
Yes.
frank, is that it doesn't have a ready-made annex.
Right.
However, it does have on this floor a massive, beautiful family bathroom with a massive shower, which is actually suitable for wheelchairs. And
Right,
things.
brilliant.
And this room, and then also on this floor, another double and a single room.
Oh, okay.
So that
yeah.
is basically a
Yeah.
living accommodation and a bedroom.
Let's look upstairs at your bedroom. There is enough space for the parents, but it remains to be seen whether the property offers enough separate space for Carl and Katie themselves. So a very nice modern bathroom.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Fantastic
finish.
finish.
Yeah, the quality is amazing.
And then this would probably be your room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, because it's got, ta-da, huge storage.
Oh, my goodness.
Certainly fit all your dresses in there, Kate.
Yeah, just maybe.
So you have space over there for
Yeah.
more storage. Or
Yeah.
dressing
Yeah,
room.
yeah, dressing table.
And yeah, nice high room.
Yeah, and even though it's sloping
good.
ceiling, you would bang your head, would you?
Right. So the challenge of this property is, of course, that you only have 4 bedrooms in total to play with, and one of
Yeah.
those is quite small.
Yeah, okay. It's just so
Such an
unlike
impressive space.
anywhere we've ever seen.
But it's really got the wow factor,
yeah.
both from outside and from inside. Yeah.
That is why it's the mystery house.
Absolutely.
There is a little bit of space outside, so let's look at the back garden. Bearing in mind Katie wanted somewhere to potter, the garden is relatively modest. At the front is a paved terrace edged by box hedging, with a small lawn to the side, and the rear is mainly gravelled with a patio seating area. And there's also a garage for Carl to tinker in. Is it working for you?
It's beyond amazing, isn't it? But we're quite messy. We've got quite a lot of things, and you know that house needs to be open and clean, doesn't it? So I'm still trying to get my head around whether we could live there.
There isn't an extra room that we could use for your sewing or as a study to put things away.
Yeah.
So I'm struggling to see how that all really fits.
And how much do you think it is on the market for?
It's just incredible, I think. The wow factor, the outside, the inside, I would have thought it would have been way beyond the budget that
So
we talked
would I,
about.
yes.
Given that it has to be somewhere near budget, I'd have said 850,000.
And I've just said near enough that as well, maybe 845, something like that.
Well, you must really like it, because actually it's on the market for 750,000.
Oh, is it? I think they need to put their prices up.
Well, why don't you go back inside to the church?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Have a pray.
Yeah, indeed. Ask the Lord
See what the
to
Lord
help.
says. And I'll meet you in the porch.
Thank you.
Now that's interesting, isn't it? When someone guesses £100,000 over a property, that says something about what they think about it.
It seems our mystery house has foxed them. On the market for £750,000, it offers them bags of character with 4 bedrooms, a massive kitchen and living space, a huge downstairs bathroom ideal for Carl's parents, a garage with workshop potential, all set in a beautiful village location.
If it was just the two of us, I think that, yeah, we could live here because we would use perhaps one of the bedrooms as a study or a sewing room, and then the rest of it could be clutter-free and minimalist, how it is meant to be. I think that would work, but it's not just the two of us, it's the 4 adults and then the kids when they come back. So, yeah, I'm not sure, although I really wish it would, I'm not sure that it does work for us.
You all done?
Yes, thank you.
I'm afraid that's the last house I have to show you.
Oh,
No more.
well, they've all been amazing, the 3 you have shown us.
Ended on a real high.
Good. Well, let's go and find somewhere to gather our thoughts.
Thank you.
Many English counties can be identified not only by their landscape, but by their buildings and the materials used to construct them. With an abundance of flint found in West Sussex, it's become a defining feature of the county's architecture. One such building made from this durable quartz is West Dean House, in the village of West Dean. Originally built in 1804 for the politician James Peachey, this Georgian Gothic manor house eventually became the West Dean College in 1971, a centre teaching traditional craft skills. I've come to meet college tutor and Flint mason Jerry Williams to find out more about this hardy crystalline.
Morning, Jerry. Nice to meet you.
Welcome to West Dean.
Oh, what an amazing building. Now, you are a Flint fanatic, can I call you that?
Fanatic, yeah, absolutely, yeah. I'll go along with that.
I can see that this is a very unusually white and very orderly flint. What information does that give
Yeah,
you?
basically, when this was built, they left the cortex, which is the outside of the flint, still on.
Cortex?
Cortex, which is like a rind of a cheese.
And what about West Sussex? What's typical about this building, for example? Is there anything that you would spot as being typically West Sussex?
Well, only the fact that there's gallatin here, because there's a lot of areas where there isn't gallatin, even in East Sussex, no gallatin.
What's gallatin?
Gallatin is the small slivers of flint that are knocked off of a big flint, so that you get all these little bits that you can stick in round the joints. It is purely to show a sign of wealth, because it costs a lot of money to sit there gallatin.
So this is a wealthy man's house?
Absolutely, yeah, yeah.
Found mainly in areas of chalk and limestone, nobody really knows how flint is formed. It is extremely tough, almost as hard as diamonds, and it takes years to learn how to read the flint so you can nap it into the exact shape you want. Time for my lesson, I think.
Here we have the flint bench.
Ah,
There are
look.
exhibits on.
All the raw material. How do you work it? Because it's extremely hard, isn't it? It's tough material.
It's tough material, but it's not specifically hard. You have to look at it and assume where you're going to work it, and then tap it, and then you're listening and looking at the same time.
Listening.
You listen to hear how it rings, and then off you go. You'll find out in a minute when you...
Can we have a go?
Yes. I think you better put your gloves on.
They're quite sharp, aren't they? I
They're
mean,
very sharp.
They used to make knives
Lethal.
of them.
Knock a bit off. You can hear it's ringing quite well, so...
Is there any tips? I mean, am I listening for anything particular?
What we want you to do, just try and think you're going to try and knock that lump off. What you want to be looking at is that nodule there.
It's like...
No, just give it a sharp crack. That's it.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, it's gone.
Oh, I got it. I'm slightly bigger than I expected.
It's got a mind of its own. You have to work it.
So you can see here that this is the cortex.
That's it.
And
Yeah.
this is the black flint.
Yeah.
Wow, it's really amazing. I'm getting the hang of it. This is amazing. This has been so instructive. I have learned napping, gallets.
Gallets.
It's been a real joy. Thank you
Good.
so much.
Good to meet you.
I have a long way to go before I build my own Flint house, I think, but thankfully Jerry is here to pass on these traditional skills to conserve wonderful Flint structures for years to come. For now, time to catch up with our couple and return to their house hunt.
On reflection, I think maybe the ecclesiastical proportions of that mystery house may have sort of put the fear of God into Carl and Katie, quite literally. But it's definitely between that one and house number 1 with the pool. So which one is going to lure them from London? Let's find out. I would bet this cream tea here that the 2 houses you like the most are the first and the last.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Yes! Cream tea is mine. Excellent. Have you had any thoughts about the first and the last house since we've got back?
Yeah, I think we really could see ourselves living in the first house as opposed to the third house, which was beyond fabulous, but probably not really practical for us all to live in.
Now, of course, your parents have been key players in this search,
Yes.
although they haven't been with us. I mean, has that been... Because it's interesting, sometimes I think you're almost looking for the house for your parents rather than yourselves. Have you allowed yourself a bit of, this house would be nice for me?
I think it is very much for both.
Yeah.
So that's why the separate annex and all the accommodation in the first house really did fit the bill, whereas the second house became a bit of a compromise, and equally for the third. There was a bit of a compromise, not really having enough space for all of us.
Have you been telling them what you've seen?
Yes, I've been ringing them and trying to describe the properties, so we'll have to fill them in a little bit more when we get back.
And hopefully get them down to see one of them.
So the next step is what?
Well, certainly initially to go back and have a look at the surrounding area from the first property.
Because the first property is very close to your brother.
Yes, which would be so good to be able to see them on a more regular basis and have my niece and nephew come over and play in the pool.
So with that pool, they'll be seeing a lot of them, I should think.
Yeah.
Well, I hope it all goes well. There's a few obstacles that you need to get through, but your excitement will carry you through, no doubt.
Yeah, we're really looking forward
Looking
to
forward to
moving.
it, yeah.
I feel good about the work we did with Katie and Carl this week because we overcame their anxiety, which is understandable having lived in London their whole life, about moving out into the countryside. But that's a good thing because then they will have all this on their doorstep. And I think with their energy, excitement and ebullience, they'll clear all the obstacles and make the move. And I hope that you, with all your enthusiasm, join us next time for more Escape to the Country.
Well, the first property was ideal, but having been back to look around the area, Carl and Katie decided that although they love the house, the location isn't quite right for them and Carl's parents. So they're continuing their search around Chichester for their dream home in the country. If you want to escape to the country in Wales, Northern Ireland, England, Scotland, or even further afield to the continent and need our help, please apply online at bbc.co.uk/Be On A Show.